it's like invasion of privacy.
Well, it is.
It is. It's. But I mean, when it looked up and I seen them black eyes and its face, it comes to like a pointed chin. It didn't really have a nose, and it had a little small flat, maybe sliver as a mouth. It had ear canals and a big bald head. And what I thought, to me, it looked like was that silent vampire movie, the black and white vampire movie that didn't have no sound, that had the pointed ears and stuff. That's the closest thing that I thought it was. That's why I thought it was a vampire, because that's the only thing I knew that it looked like.
Okay, I can't even think of the name of that movie, but that was done like in the 20s. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That would be scary. Especially, again, you were a young kid when that happened.
Yeah. I've never forgot it, though. Until later.
Okay, you're dropping out again. You're dropping out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, how about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Right.
Have you ever thought about taking a compass on around your wrist and see if it goes crazy? The reason why I'm going to say this, Michael W. Hall, last August, I think the 27th or the 28th, they went up to Mount Adams because it's a reported, the Yosemite Ranch up there is a reported area for Bigfoot and UFOs. And one night they were there, they saw a craft, and it kind of came up and stopped, and witnesses say that it kind of shot out like a laser blue light from the side of it, and then it took off. And what was really funny that night, Don, that it was really cold up there, where it's at. And some of the guys decided they couldn't sleep in their tent. It was too cold. They went in their car. And one guy's car, it was a fairly late car. All of a sudden, his battery acted like it was dead. It wouldn't start. Then in the morning, it started fine. But some weird things happened. One, during that time, his car became magnetized. And they noticed it by the compasses they had. They went by the car, and they went crazy. They moved the car, and the ground around it wasn't magnetized, but the car was. Now, here's where it gets really strange. Michael W. Hall, the paranormal lawyer, he, has to sleep with a sleep path machine to help him breathe at night.
Yeah.
Okay, it's computerized. And he was sleeping in a friend's tent trailer with, and, because for the hookup for the electricity to run it. And it stopped. So automatically the alarm goes off, they wake up because the alarm's going off. And his friend says, don't worry about it. I'll change the battery out. So Michael decides that he has to go out and nature call, just for a pit stop,
Yeah.
Like a 3-minute pit stop. Well, he comes back in, goes back to bed. Couple things is really weird. His watch is like glowing. He has phosphorus-coated dial numbers and stuff, which I can't see that happening after hours of being in darkness. The other issue he had, in the morning, his friend says, where were you? And so they start checking the time on the CPAP machine. He has to go out and take a leak. Pardon me, folks. But he went out there for a 3-minute pee, and he was gone for an hour. Totally unaccounted for. Now, in the morning, he wakes up, and on his wrists, he has 3 dots. Triangle.
I've seen something like that. Not on me, but another case.
But what's got really interesting, about a couple months after he was on my, this happened, I had him on my show because I wanted to find out more what happened about, that weird encounter. I said, do you still have a compass? And he goes, yeah. So he went and got his compass. I said, do me a favor. Put that compass on your right wrist. It didn't do anything. I said, okay, put it on your left wrist. And it goes crazy. I said, okay, put it back on your right. It goes normal. I said, go back to your left. It goes crazy. And I said, okay, you told me one time you wore steel-toed boots. Do you have your boots there? So he went and got his boots. I said, okay, go check your right boot. Nothing. Check your left boot. It goes crazy. Wow. Now, I feel he was abducted. I mean, there was an hour of time it vanished, unaccountable for. I mean, I could drink a case of beer and I'm still not going to be peeing for 1 hour. I guarantee you that.
Exactly. You know, I mean, they somehow they manipulate time, and I don't know how, but I mean, some people report missing time. Me, there was no time, and it slowed way down.
Yeah, you're starting to break down again. Get a little closer to that phone.
All right. Yeah. How's that? Better?
That's a lot better.
Okay. Well, yeah, I've had slow time or no time, so it tells me that somehow they manipulate time.
I think so. But have you ever gone to bed, Don, and you wake up like 11 o'clock because you go to bed at 10 o'clock, for example. You wake up at 11 and you think you slept the whole night, and you look at the clock, right? And then you go back to sleep, and then all of a sudden you wake up like it seems like you slept the whole night through, and you look, and now it is like 12 o'clock, and you go back to bed, and you feel like you slept the whole night again. Now it's only 2 hours later. It's like you're losing time somewhere all night.
Well, sometimes I think that it's a different time in your subconscious sometimes, because you ever have a dream that just keeps, it seems like it goes on and on and on, and it seems like the whole night and then you wake up and it's like, wow, it just seems like you've just been running all night. But
yeah, I've had dreams like that. I got to the point, I had a hypnotist on my show, and he does like dream regression and all that stuff. And he was talking about how you can condition yourself to actually have a dream, go back, the next night, go back and pick up from your dream and continue that dream on for, days and days and days. And, I thought it was a big joke, and it took me a while. But you know what? I can actually go to bed now, start a dream, and then wake up, okay? And then that next night, I go to bed, and I condition myself to finish the dream.
Oh, wow. That would be interesting.
It could
fall right back into it.
Yeah, fall back into it. And it's funny. Sometimes the dream will slightly change from the original part of the dream, but it can get really, intense sometimes. But no, maybe I'm having a nervous breakdown. I'm not sure.
Well, have you ever had any dreams flying?
You're okay. You're drifting off.
Okay. Have you ever had any dreams of floating?
No.
Flying?
Flying. I did when I was a kid. I had a dream that this is going to sound ridiculous, but a monster was chasing me, and I had these magical powers. I could jump up to the top of the telephone pole, and then then the monster would kind of go away, and then I'd jump back down, and then the monster would be there again. But the next time I couldn't quite jump as high, and to the point I couldn't jump off the ground at all.
Wow. Yeah, I've had a few dreams that kind of flying over cornfields and stuff like that. But there's a difference in the experiences and the dreams, though. I mean, it was totally two different feelings, two different. I mean, after so many nights, I don't know how 47, 48 times 365. Your dreams. What's going on.
What I really think what you need to do is get hypnotized and have a regression and go back to, that time frame where you were levitating off the bed and ending up in the spacecraft and all this stuff. And I am so curious what you saw when they gave you the ability to see your life future.
I would love to know.
Okay, you're totally dropping off.
Sorry.
I
was thinking. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I think it was. I don't know. It was totally different though. But the traumatic part is it wasn't just the abductions. The more traumatic part is when you realize that it happened to somebody else, so that somebody else experienced the same thing, because when mom told me That's crazy. She had a dream she's floating up in the linen closet. It just gave me cold chills. That's less than 15 feet from where I seen that thing, from where I floated. And well, you did the math. I mean, how many coincidences like stuff like that?
Okay. I don't know if your location or what.
It's probably my location and storm. I think we're supposed to have some rain.
Yeah, because you keep dropping totally out. Anyway, we're going to kind of wrap this up here. Is there anything more you want to touch base with, Don, before we end it here?
Well,
is there a message you want to get out? I mean, at this point, I really feel that you were abducted when you were a child. I really do.
Well, thank you. Because, I mean, something happened. And, you know, that's some kind of
okay, you're totally gone again.
See, I'm sorry. Kathleen Molden, she's been awesome. I mean, and John Carpenter, he's been awesome. And Tim Cullen, he's been awesome. Earl Grey, he's been awesome. And you, Gary, you've been awesome too, brother.
Well, I'm glad you came on. You know, if anything, maybe it'll give you some closure to what happened. But, again, like Timothy Cullen, after his abduction, he got interested in cattle mutilations. I don't know if he ever told you that, but, he went out and investigated, some of those strange cases where cattle were mutilated. And that just made him open up his eyes all the more that there is things out there. And people can deny that they exist. But, I mean, come on, people. There is aliens out there. There are people being abducted. Look at all the people who have gone missing in the national forest, gone missing, going on road trips, going, just disappearing out of the cities. There's so many people just totally unaccounted for.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and out there in Washington, shoot, I mean, that's country there.
Well, the thing is, the lucky people get returned. The unlucky people, I don't think, get returned.
No, well, that's probably true, yeah. I mean, but you guys got Pearl Jam, and that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Okay, my friend, Don, keep in touch with me, okay?
All right. Thank you, Gary.
Okay, thank you for coming on, sir.
Thank you.
You have a good evening. Okay. So abductions, do they exist? I really do think they exist. I mean, just like Calvin Parker last night, going from the pier by two like robotic creatures, taking him and levitating him off the ground, taking him into the bright light, into the spaceship, injecting him with something to cause him not to remember or, put him under or, and experimenting on him. And, I just feel so strongly that, if they're here to help mankind, why would they be abducting people? Wouldn't they have abducted enough people by now to know what humans, how they exist, how they operate, how we, think? I would think so. So I think it's other motives out there than just, abducting people to just implant them. I think they're either harvesting eggs, DNA, creating other humanoids. Who knows? Going back before the Sphinx, like I've mentioned many times before, I think we have been rebooted. I don't think we're the first humanoids to walk this earth. I think we've been rebooted at least once or twice before. And maybe it's been, where aliens came down, collected eggs, collected DNA to the same way like we have the seed bank up in Antarctica. Okay, just in case something happens that they can grow the forest, plants, all the stuff that we have now. Maybe they are doing the same thing. They're harvesting people, their DNA and all this stuff, knowing that maybe mankind is on borrowed time. Anyway, I'm going to probably jump out of here in the next couple minutes unless somebody wants to call in. I'm not feeling good yet. The number is 1-253-203-6681. That's 253-203-6681. If if you want to call and ask me a question or anything about abductions or UFOs. Let's see.